Mondays we started streaming with the Malibu half marathon and 5K, and this year is a virtual race that they did, and so there's a 50-mile November. So every Monday we sort of do yoga for athletes, stream with their community via Facebook, and that is super fun. Did I just lose that stream? What happened there? Uh-oh. I was going to say, and then the other thing that happens right now is, oh, wait a second here. Can you guys hear me? It just cut out for a second. No? Can you still hear me? Everything okay? What was it? What happened? Oh, what about now? Can you hear me now? How about now? Now can you hear me? That was weird. I don't know what happened. What I was saying is that it's a special day because we're streaming with the Malibu half marathon folks, but we also have my group of the 5-day revitalizing challenge with us too. So there's a bunch of people. You can or you cannot? Let's see here, stand by. Let's try this. Oh, is that right? Let me see. Here, stand by. Let's see. Hang on. Hang on, let's see. Should work. Come on. How about now? Let's see. How about now? Is that better? It is working. Is it better? Yes? Yes. Okay, good. Sorry about that, you guys. So the group of us that are doing this 5-day revitalizing challenge is also here with us. So we're going to get started because that's enough announcements. We're a few minutes late. So let's start with our feet shoulder distance. Bring the palms together, close your eyes, relax your shoulders, start breathing in and out of your nose. We just did a nice little alternative nostril breathing exercise, which makes me feel like I can breathe a little bit deeper today. So shoulders down, top of the head floats up, breath smooth. Take a moment, set your intention or reaffirm the intention that you've set. And then go ahead and drop your head down to your left side. Nice, easy neck stretch. And then switch sides, same thing. So one thing those breathing exercises do for me is the lasting effect is that I just feel like I can breathe a little deeper. Go ahead and drop the arms, make a few circles with your head, one direction. And that's always good because the breath helps you relax and release stress. Opposite direction with your head rolls here. Good, back to the center. Shoulder rolls, forward and back, forward and back. Keep that going, just pin this here. And then opposite direction. Good. Good. And then arms up from there. Interlace the fingertips, turn the palms to the ceiling. So straighten the arms, bring the arms up, stretch. Breathe. So we talked about this last week. Make sure that when you're doing this here, straighten the arms and bringing them up, but then avoid puffing the chest forward and sinking into the lower back. So this is not necessarily a deeper stretch than that because you're puffing the chest out and sinking into the lower back. So avoid that if you can. Keep the ribs, lower ribs down, and then isolate those shoulders. Then fold over to your left side. Easy side stretch that way. Good. And then switch sides, same thing. Goodness. Back to the center. Lean back, take a big inhale, and then fold down forward as you exhale. Hang forward here. Drop the head down. You can grab the elbows, relax, and breathe. So today our focus is hips and hamstrings. I'm just going to move that back a little bit there if I can. So get it out of your way. Let's save this here. Oh, there we go. That I think is going to be better. So we're going to start with a little bit more intense hamstring stretch. So while you're hanging down, I want you to walk your feet here together just about an inch. So not all the way together because it might be a little unstable in the balance, but then I want you to bend your knees and I want you to wrap your arms around the back of your legs. So you grab the elbows, right? And from here, we're just gonna go straighten the right leg. It doesn't have to straighten, but I want you to keep the elbows. So it's a deeper stretch in the hamstrings on the right, and then bend the right. So you're bending both, and then straighten the left, and hold it, and then bend, and then straighten the right, and then bend, and then straighten the left. And again, the deeper you can grab the arms, the deeper you'll pull your body toward the legs. Now bend, straighten the right. Maybe pull the body closer, and then bend and straighten the left. Good. And bend and straighten the right. Couple more. Bend, straighten the left. When you're bending both legs. And then bend both legs. And then straighten the right. Keeping your hands clasped behind your hamstrings. Bend and straighten the left. And bend and straighten the right. One more on each side. Good. And bend and straighten the left. And then, yes, what you've all been waiting for, bend both knees. And now see if you can straighten both legs. So if you're more flexible, this is not going to be that big of a deal. If you're less flexible, it is going to be a big deal. So keeping these elbows, dropping the head. If you're more flexible also, you can even drop the arms down below the calves and breathe. One more breath. Release those arms, bend the knees, engage your abdomen, slowly roll up. And I'll just tell you, make some arm circles. There was no chance on this earth that was happening for me when I started the yoga practice. There's no chance. That is all new over the course of the last 20 years new. Flexibility. Switch arms. So regardless of where you are, if you can't quite wrap your arms or you can't quite straighten the legs or you can't quite do any of that stuff, don't worry. Time, consistency, eventually it all opens up. Now a little side to side. Oh. Great. All right, and now we'll start some sun salutations here. Palms together, arms up, nice big inhale. Fold down forward as you exhale. Extend the spine as you inhale. Step back to plank, top of a push-up. Hold it here, breathe. Abdomen strong, thighs strong. Extend the shoulders up. Good. So you can do these with the knees down or not. We're going to lower halfway, take a full breath, and then push back up. Take a full breath. We're going to do that 3 times. So inhale, lower down on your exhale, halfway to chaturanga. Hold, inhale, exhale, push back up. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Inhale, exhale, push up. Inhale, exhale. One more, lower. Inhale, exhale, push up. Inhale, exhale. Drop to the knees. Cat and cow tilts for the spine. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Couple more times. Inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Back to neutral. Lift the feet side to side. So shoulder and hip together one side, shoulder and hip together other side. Keep that going. Good. All right. And then downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Reset here. Or set up for the first time. Fingers spread, palms flat, breath smooth. Walk the feet together. Bend your left leg. Push the right heel down. Big, big stretch. And remember the concept of opposing action. So opposing action, heel down, sit bone up. So you're really stretching. It's a more efficient stretch or more optimal stretch there. Switch legs, same thing. So bending the right, pushing that left heel down, tilt the left sit bone up so you're stretching the back of the legs. Breathe. Good. Straightening both legs from there. Up on the toes when you're ready. Walk softly to the hands. Extend the spine as you inhale. Fold as you exhale. All the way up. Nice big inhale. Hands to the heart. Exhale. Arms up. Inhale. 3 rounds from here. Sun salutation A. Fold down. Exhale. Knees can be bent. Halfway up. Look forward. Inhale. First one. Easy. Step back. Drop to the knees. All the way to the mat. Gentle cobra pose. Easy on the spine. And then reverse it. Downward facing dog. And as always, that can be your regular version of a vinyasa. But if you're feeling stronger, there are alternatives. Up on the toes right away. Walk softly, or you could hop forward. Extend the spine as you inhale. Fold as you exhale. All the way up, nice big inhale. Oh, hands together at the heart, exhale. Number 2, arms up, inhale. Fold down forward as you exhale. Extend the spine as you inhale. Step or jump back. Chaturanga or plank and then lower. And you can lower all the way to the mat. Upward facing dog and then downward facing dog. And I just always step my feet just a little closer, and that just gives me a bit more efficient stretch. So lifting, extending the shoulders, lifting the tailbone, pressing the thighs back and down. Breathe deeply. Good. Up on the toes again. Walk or hop forward. Extend the spine as you inhale. Fold as you exhale. All the way up, nice big inhale. Hands together at the heart. Exhale, one more round. Sun salutation A. Arms up, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Extend the spine as you inhale. Step or jump back. chaturanga, or all the way to the mat, upward facing dog. And then this one is a little extra for those of you that want. You go back to chaturanga and then downward facing dog. That's an option as well. Breathe. Right from here, right leg up behind you. Right leg up behind you, sink the left heel down just a moment or two. In fact, open the hip, bend the knee, get a little side stretch there. Breathe. Good. Square the hips, knee to the nose, shoulders over the wrists, abdomen strong. Lift it back and up. And then forward, knee to your left side, a little core strength, twist, back and up. Forward up to your right side, back and up. All the way forward to the hands. Stay here. You can either use blocks if you have them, otherwise right on your fingertips. We're going to do 15 times. Straighten the front leg, flex the foot, bend the knee, sink the hips. Whenever I focus on hamstrings, I always do this particular version of this particular exercise here. So inhale and exhale if you can, linking the movement and the breath. 2 more here. Inhale, exhale. 1 more. Inhale, exhale. Now the same action, but you're going to externally rotate the leg. So you're going to roll to the outside of the heel, and then that stretches the outside of the hamstrings a bit more, and then bend the knee. Same thing, 4 more times. External rotation, bend the knee. External rotation, bend the knee. 2 more like that. External rotation, bend the knee. 1 more. Now we do internal rotation. So internal rotation, you got to move your hips a bit over to the right and then bend the knee. So you straighten the leg and then internally rotate the leg and feel that on the inside of your hamstrings. Bend the knee. 3 more like that. 1 more. And again, it just becomes that exploration through the body. Now a couple times, so I lied, 17. 1 and 2, just forward and back. So you feel the difference, and then turn the back foot flat. Just come right up to warrior 1. 1 breath, inhale. And then hands down to the floor. Take the leg back. Vinyasa or not, of course, anytime you need to. You can always skip your vinyasa. Otherwise, when you get back there, take a moment, sink that right heel down, so stretch the right leg, and then slowly lift the left leg. Open up that left hip and breathe. Good. And then square the hips. We do our core first. Shoulders over the wrist, knee to the nose, abdomen strong. Lift it back and up, and then forward knee across to your right, back and up, forward up to your left, back and up, all the way forward to the hands. Stay here, straighten the front leg, flex the foot, bend the knee, drop the hips. Inhale, straighten and flex. Exhale, bend, sink. Inhale, straighten, flex. Exhale, bend, sink. Keep it going. Inhale, exhale, and 1 more time like that. Inhale, exhale. Now we do the external rotation, so you roll to the outside of the heel and then bend the knee. External rotation outside of the heel. Feel it differently. Should definitely be different on the hamstrings. And then different than the middle, right? 2 more like that. Straighten the leg outside of the heel. Bend the knee. 1 more like that. Good. Now, internal rotation. So internal. Good. And internal. And bend. Internal. This is the tightest for me, and I think for most people. Internal. 1 more. Internal. Good. Now, just a couple to see how it feels now. Woohoo, look at that, a new hamstring. Turn the back foot flat. Warrior one, inhale, reach up. And then hands down to the floor. Leg back. Vinyasa, lower down. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Good, and we're going to go just a few minutes over because we started so late. So maybe 5 to 10 minutes over. But I do want to go through a little bit of a kind of stronger warm up here. So come up on the toes, walker lightly, hop forward. And some of you know have been practicing with me for a while. Halfway up and fold. Chair pose, inhale. What we're going to do is a single round through, sun salutation B, and then a double round through, and then a triple round through. So if you haven't practiced with me on a regular basis, that's a little harder sequence. You wind up doing basically six sun salutation B sequences in a short period of time, which is harder. The way to make it easier is to skip a vinyasa. So remember, there are 3 different ways you could do a vinyasa. And I'll make sure to, remind you to take breaks if you need to. But sink a little bit lower. One more inhale. Stand up, hands together at the heart, exhale. So that's just a little warning if you're newer and not used to this kind of flow. So take a nice big full breath. Sun salutation B, chair pose. Inhale. Fold, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Step or hop back. Remember, all the way to the mat or halfway. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right side, first inhale, the leg up behind you. Exhale, forward. Warrior one, reach up, inhale. Stretch up, hands down, leg back. Vinyasa, lower, upward facing dog. Oh, stretch. Down dog, left side. Inhale, exhale. Warrior one. Hands down, leg back. Vinyasa, lower. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Hold it here and breathe. That was 1 time through. Then we do 2 times and 3 times. Hold here, rest if you need to, anytime you need to. Child's pose is always an option. 1 more breath. And then up on the toes again. Walker lightly, hop forward. Extend that spine as you inhale. Fold as you exhale. Chair pose again, inhale. Stand, hands together at the heart, exhale. Nice big full breath, starting to feel your body come alive, warm up, loosen up, break up some of that stiffness and tightness. 2 times through each leg. Chair pose, inhale. Fold, exhale. Extend the spine, inhale. Step or jump back, exhale. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and down dog. Right leg first, take it up. First time, bring it forward. Warrior one, reach up, inhale. Hands down, leg back. Vinyasa or not, this is where you would possibly skip that vinyasa. Left side, take it up, bring it forward. Deep bend in that front leg and reach up and stretch. Hands down, leg back, lower. Upward facing dog, down dog, and then we go second time, right side, right into it, right leg up, bring it forward. Warrior one. Inhale, hands down, leg back, lower. Up, maybe if you're stronger, extra chaturanga each time. Left leg up, bring it forward. Warrior one, deep inhale. Hands down, leg back. 3 options. And back to downward facing dog. Hold it and breathe. A few breaths. Extend the shoulders. Each time is a little different. Each time you get here, body changes a little bit. Maybe your heart's beating a little more. Maybe the breath is a little deeper. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more space in your hamstrings or shoulders. Just sort of melt into the experience. Up on the toes again. Walk or lightly hop forward. Extend the spine as you inhale. Fold as you exhale. Chair pose. Bend the knees, reach the arms, inhale. Stand up, hands together at the heart. Exhale, nice big full breath. Now, 3 times through each leg. Gets a little bit tricky. Chair pose, inhale. Fold down, exhale. And by the way, you could skip 2 of these. Halfway up, step or jump back if you needed to. Vinyasa. Back to down dog. Right leg first, take it up. Bring it forward. Deep bend in that front leg. Reach up and stretch. And then hands down, leg back. Vinyasa. That was first time, right side. Second, I say that to remind myself too. Left leg, take it up. Bring it forward. Warrior 1, first time. Left side. Oh, hands down, leg back. Vinyasa. And if you're feeling stronger, extra chaturanga. Right leg, second time. Take it up. Bring it forward. Inhale deeply. Warrior 1. Hands down. Leg back. Good. Vinyasa. Down. Left side. Take it up. Bring it forward. Warrior 1. Inhale. If you can, stay with it. Focus. Inhale. Down dog. Right side. Take it up. Bring it forward. Warrior 1. Stretch. Hands down. Leg back. Vinyasa. Left side. Take it up. Bring it forward. Warrior 1. Inhale. Hands down, leg back, lower. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Pause for a moment. We're all gonna rest and drop to the knee in a second, but push through the shoulders, lift the tailbone, breathe deep, optimize this stretch here. One more breath. Good. Drop to the knees. Keep the toes tucked. Here, keep them tucked. Sit back onto the heels. We're gonna just give a little love to the feet for a moment. A little break and a little foot stretch and shoulder stretch. So first, tuck the toes. And by the way, if sitting back on the heels like this is just too much for you, then you can also just come up here and keep the toes tucked. We're gonna do a little arm variation stretch. So if the feet just are too tight when you sit back here, then you're up on the knees. But if this is okay, walk the knees back a little bit. See that move? So I just kind of scoot my knees back. It gives me a deeper stretch on the feet. If you need a deeper stretch on the feet, you may not. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms forward. And the only reason I laugh is because I know it can be excruciating. In the beginning, when I started doing this on a regular basis, I was like, what? This doesn't make any sense. Why are my feet so tight? But I know for some of us they are. Interlace, turn the palms forward, reach the arms up and stretch. It's always funny in this particular pose, I'll look around the room and you'll see the facial expressions of people who are like, I don't really think this is probably a wise thing for me to do. I think my feet are going to explode. It's funny. So from here, if you can, if you're still here, lift up, lean back a few breaths. You get the weight of your feet. But I will say, on the other side, it does feel good to be able to do this stretch and be okay in it. Lift up, lean back. One more breath. Good. Now you're going to come forward. Hands and knees, lift the feet up, wiggle the toes, or those things that used to be your toes. Wiggle those. Roll the ankles a little bit. And then I want you to point the toes back. So now you're going to sit back on the heels. All right, sit back on the heels here. And again, any modification is fine. So if you're super tight, Right? You might have to modify this by holding your body up, but I'm just going to demonstrate the more advanced level. If you can, lean back here, lift the knees up, stretching the tops of your feet and the shins. Draw the shoulders down the spine, push the heart up, drop the head back and breathe. So at the same time you're lifting the knees here, you're also lifting the heart center up. Good, one more nice big breath. And then slowly come on down forward. Pause for a second. Interlace the fingers back. Lift the heart up. Shoulders pulled back and down. Head drops back again. Inhale. Now we're going to the top of our head. This is only okay if it's okay on your neck. So you come on the very top of the head. If your neck gives you any trouble at all, then please skip this. You can still get a shoulder stretch from child's pose. But otherwise, find this good, smooth, even breath here in the shoulders, softening, melting, breathing. One more breath. And then release. Child's pose for a moment. Just go ahead and rest back. Arms can be forward or back. People ask, what's the correct child's pose? There's like 4 different options. Knees can be closer, knees can be wider. It's nice sometimes to have the knees a little bit wider. You can lengthen your torso, let your torso go down, and then arms back. Ultimately, if you're just resting like we are now in between poses, then should be okay. But if you wanted to rest for a longer period of time, I like having the knees a bit wider, arms back. Downward facing dog from there. Come on up, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Take a moment, bend the left leg, push the right heel down. Big stretch. And then switch it, same thing, other side, big stretch. Good. Right leg up behind you when you're ready. Bring it forward. Turn the back foot flat, come to warrior one. Push the front leg straight from here. Hands to the waist, step the back foot closer. Angle it forward. Excuse me. So from here, hips forward. We're going to take this in 4 stages, right? Halfway, all the way, wrap and stretch. 4 stages. So first, you can have the hands to the waist. You can grab the elbows behind you. You could do reverse namaste. Either way is fine. Reverse namaste looks like that. Push the palms together. From here, we're going to go halfway down. And when I say halfway, I don't mean geometrically halfway down. I mean your halfway sensation-wise. So halfway for you might be up here. This might be halfway because you're tighter and, that's all the way. But for some, it's more. So just feel it out. You have to. This is a feeling thing. Legs straight in the front. If you have to have it slightly bent because you hyperextend, that's fine. Hyperextension, you can notice that. Right, if I lock my leg out, this is going to put too much pressure on the knee joint itself. So just a slight bend is fine. That's it. You're still going to get a big stretch, but at least you're not going to be, leaning into a hyperextended joint, which again over time won't be great. But halfway first, you've been there for a couple of breaths. So now you can go all the way to the body, kind of nose. So now we're stage 2. Stage 2, you bring your chin to your ankle. Or at least head in that direction. So lengthen the upper body. I always keep trying to lengthen my torso so I can get my lower ribs down onto that quad there. Chin down. And you can drop your head at the end, like once you know you're in your best stretch here. Breathe. So this is not, this is 85% maybe of your max, 90% of your max. Couple more breaths, hamstring stretching, breath smooth. Good. And I want you to release your arm variation and then put the hands down, whether your arm blocks or not, and bend your front knee a lot. So it's a little rest for a moment. And then what you're going to do is go back to that wrapping the arms. This time you're grabbing your triceps here. But the key here is to keep your ribs attached to your quadricep. So lengthen the torso, Get the rib and quads connected. Then hold on to that leg for dear life. And then I want you to keep the connection between your upper body and your quadriceps, and I want you to start to straighten the leg. For most people, your leg will not straighten. Maybe Greg Louganis can straighten his leg, and Kathy Landman. But from here, most of us, we can't quite straighten the leg. It doesn't matter. It just isolates the hamstrings here. So just breathe deeply and stretch. A few more breaths. Really, this is a lot of effort here. Good. Now, release the hands and then straighten the leg. So now you let your upper body come off that leg, but straighten it now. This is probably the deepest we've been thus far in the hamstrings. Hands can be down. If your hands are down, take them back behind you. If you have more space, lengthen the torso, drop the head in and breathe. One more breath. Good. And then release it. Hands forward. You're going to step that leg back. Vinyasa. Clean the slate a little bit. You can lower all the way down to the mat or halfway. And then a gentle cobra. That's a big forward bend, so I don't usually encourage a super big back bend immediately after a longer, deeper forward bend. So just a gentle back bend. And then downward facing dog. Take a moment. Check out your new hamstring. Go ahead and bend the left leg and push that right heel down. Should be a lot more space in there. And that's the whole idea. Breathe. Good. Left side. Take it up behind you. Bring it forward. Turn the back foot. Warrior one. Push the front leg straight. Hands to the waist. Step the back foot closer. Same thing as before. Again, 4 stages in here. First one, hips are square. Back foot is at your 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock angle here. Clasp the hands back behind you, either grabbing your elbows or palms together. Reverse namaste from there. Good. Pushing the palms together. Lift up nice and tall and then halfway forward. You're halfway. Breathing. Extension. Extending the spine. Just be careful on the knees, that's all. Just be careful not to lock the knee out if you sink into your knee joint. And you'll know, because your knee will tell you, that doesn't feel so great. And then you just bend the knee a little. One more breath in our halfway. And then we're going to go all the way. But all the way really means, 75, 80, 85, maximum 90% of your maximum. This is my tighter side, so I'm not going to go as deep, but just be aware and breathe. Good, one more breath. Then release the arms, bend the knees a lot. Bend that front knee, not both knees. Bend the front knee a lot. Lengthen your torso. So lengthening the torso, get your, Your rib cage, lower rib cage onto the quadricep. And then wrap that arm tight. Grab your triceps. And then keeping the legs straight, start to straighten and breathe. Drop the head in, breathe. Strong back leg for stability. Slowly straighten. However much your body allows, and again, it doesn't matter that this leg is straight. The goal is not to straighten the leg. The goal is to get the most out of the pose. The goal is to just be as efficient as possible and reap the most benefit. Whether it straightens or not is irrelevant. few more breaths. Good. Release the hands, pause there. Remember, you can let the upper body come off the leg now, and maybe if you're more flexible, you turn the hands back, drop the head toward the shin, and breathe. Good, 2 more breaths. Good. And then slowly release. Take that leg back. Vinyasa. And again, that whole sequence is a big forward bend. So that's why oftentimes I'll just lower all the way to the mat, take a nice gentle cobra, really just taking care of the spine. In Cobra Pose, you want those shoulders back, so you don't want to crunch the shoulders into the ears, the neck. You want the shoulders to extend, lengthen the body forward, and breathe. 1 more breath, and then Child's Pose. Child's Pose, just a couple breaths. Good. Downward facing dog. Nope, not down dog. Oh yes, down dog, sorry. Down dog because we have to stretch the left side. So bend your right leg, push the left heel down, give it a big stretch. Good. Now drop to the knees. We're just going to do 1 time Ustrasana Camel. We'll do the half and half. So let's do, we'll do 1 half and then the other half. And that's it for back bends. So go ahead and start by bringing your left hand to the heel. If you're more flexible and you want to go into a nice big full deep back bend, that's totally fine. But otherwise, left hand on the heel, even if you are flexible and you're just not feeling it, this is a perfect option. Take the right arm up and lean back a little bit and breathe. Nice, gentle hips forward slightly, breathing deeply. So important in back bends not to go too deep because the back bends are really intense. Oh, a few more breaths. Unless you're Kathy. I was doing a big back bend once. I was like, oh my gosh, that was so intense. Kathy goes, what pose are you doing? I don't really feel that at all. It's because she's more flexible. Switch sides. Lift the upper body up. Lean back and breathe. Good, 1 more breath. All right, slowly come on down. Abdomen strong, protecting the lower back. Child's pose again. Move a little bit side to side. Just kind of stretch out here. Good. And then you're going to come up, cross your legs. So we're definitely going to go overtime. We officially started this class at 9:15 my time. So we'll go at least another 10 to 15 minutes. And then again, if you're in the group, we'll stop the stream, but we'll just have a couple closing announcements there. So start with your right leg forward and pull your left leg in. So if this knee, it doesn't really bend so much, then you can just have it at the foot. That's totally fine. But if it's okay, then you bring it in. So it's kind of like a tree pose. Sit up nice and tall. I kind of want to bring this butt out to the side a bit. Flex the foot back. We're going to twist first to the outside. So sit up nice and tall. Turn and twist. Breathe. Excuse me. Oh, 1 more breath. Twist. And then fold. To the foot, if you can. Now, I know that some people can't quite make it to the foot. That's okay. You get to your shin. you get to your ankle, eventually get to the foot, eventually and again, just as a reminder, when I started, I could not touch my toes. Now, I got an extra 14 inches. Where does that come from? It comes from the hamstrings, comes from the hips, comes from the back, comes from the shoulders. One more breath. Good. One thing I will show you quickly is, and you can just pause there for a second, this is just something that would be a little bit more advanced, just in case you're at home and you're feeling like you want something a little bit deeper. You could take a block and you could lift that foot up this way. This is actually going to make it a little bit more intense. You could use a blanket or whatever, but if you wanted a deeper stretch, lift this, just put a few books or, whatever it is. That's going to be deeper. Let's switch legs. Same thing, other side. So again, be aware of your knees. If the knee doesn't really bend so well, then foot to the knee. But if it does, then you're okay to lift it up here. First we twist. Also, if the hip is too tight and it starts to hurt the knee this way, you can even support this like that. So I put a little blanket. I don't know if you can see that. I put a little blanket under my hip there like that. That helps with my knee. First, the twist to the outside. Sit up nice and tall. Turn and twist. One more breath. And then forward. And again, you also could use a strap. If you had a strap or a belt or a towel or something like that, you can put that around and just pull yourself in if you wanted this to be more active. There's a big difference between an active pose and active yoga, yang or yin yang, right? Versus yin. Yin, totally rest, relax. Here, we're a little bit more active. We're kind of pulling in a little bit more, stretching. We also in the group we discussed what do you call it? Stay there for a few more. We discussed what is it called? Proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. And you could do that here as well with the hamstrings. If you were on your back, it's a good thing to do for the hamstrings. A few more breaths here. It's kind of what they used to do in, back in high school lacrosse. So I'll show it to you in a moment, but a few more breaths. You need a partner. Good. You can stay there and just watch for a second, but this would be what you would do if you wanted to use that proprioceptive. So for those of you that are not part of the group, that are just watching this now or sometime in the future, we discussed a concept called proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, PNF. And basically the idea is if you were stretching your hamstrings, for the hamstrings, this is how it would go. So you would have someone, coach, partner, friend, child, push against your leg, and you would push against their leg. So I'm pushing down, and they are pushing forward. So you create that push, and then you release the leg, and then they push your leg all the way down closer to your face, right? So you do that 3 times. Come up from your stretch. Let's do just a little bit of a pigeon stretch. This is, it's in between happy cow and double pigeon, this move. So let's go ahead and bend left, and do the right side first. Bend the left knee so that your left femur bone shoots straight forward, and then take your right ankle on top. So I guess from the front it sort of looks like that. Notice that my knee is up high. That's because my hip is so tight that my knee doesn't flop down. If you're more flexible in this way, this knee will just flop down, which is totally fine. It just means you're more flexible. I want, if possible, for you to move this foot out so that you can get your right butt cheek down. You also might be so tight that your knee is super high, your butt doesn't get down, and you're like, what the heck is this guy talking about? So that's fine. It's gonna take a little while. But if you can, right here, sitting up nice and tall, and then just lean forward. This is just a short one here, so maybe a minute. This is in lieu of a pigeon pose, so just breathe. But for runners, cyclists, hikers, walkers, anybody who's using their legs on a regular basis, this is a great, great, great pose. Oh, in our group we talked about Queen's Gambit, the new Netflix show. We watched episode 1 last night, you guys. Very good. Thumbs up, 2 thumbs up on the Queen's Gambit episode 1. A few more breaths. I love an underdog story. Nothing like an underdog story. A few more breaths. Good. That's it. Switch it. Same thing, other side. So now you're going to bend the opposite leg, and again, shoot it straight forward. And then if you can, ankle just on top of the knee. Move this foot out so that you can sit. And again, this your left side butt cheek may not go down, which is totally fine, but hopefully it does. Be good. And then lift the upper body up, and then start to lean forward here and breathe. Smooth breaths, deep breaths, calm breaths. Good. And then go ahead and come on back up. Bring both legs forward. Shake them out for a second. That's it. We're going to do our finishing sequence. So from here, butt out to the side, flex the feet back, reach the arms up. Inhale, and your newfound space from your hamstrings. Exhale. And eventually, you'll be able to have a block, or I've even seen people with 2 blocks outside grabbing their block, just to be able to get a hamstring stretch. Breathe deeply. And again, you can stay there, or you can roll back, roll up, take the legs up and over the head for plow pose. We'll do that. Supporting the back, take the legs up, breathing. Good. And then legs wide, flex the feet. A little inner hip stretch. Bend the knees, soles of the feet together. Good. Legs up, down over the head. Slowly come on down. We'll take our final twist and Shavasana. Pull the right knee in, roll to the left side, twist. Good. And then switch sides. Same thing. Good. Back to the center, Shavasana. Let's take 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes here. So eyes closed, shoulders down, arms a bit out to the side. Take a nice deep cleansing breath. Inhale and exhale. Totally, totally relax. All right, you can bring your left hand to your heart center, right hand to your belly. Just take a nice deep breath. And then go ahead and bend the knees, roll to your right side. Take your time. And then up to a seat, comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, palms up, eyes closed, a few breaths. And feeling how it feels to be you now. Present, aware, relaxed. All right, bring the palms together at the heart. Take a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for every breath. Namaste. Thank you so much for showing up today. If you're in the group, just hang there 1 second. Everybody else, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow